privacy, I'll keep it hush, hush. I'll stay down low for you. I like when it's just you and me, I'll keep it hush, 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 baby. I know you love your pride. Hey guys, it's Courtney.
And Lex.
And you are watching another episode of The Pleasure's All Yours.
Yeah.
If this is your first time listening to the pod, we want to let you know we are here to encourage sexual liberation within the Black and queer community. Yeah. This is a space for us to learn, to grow, to laugh, and just to really, express that the pleasure is
all yours.
It's all yours, bitch.
It got your name on it.
Okay, you just have to reach out there and pull it and bring it into you.
Willy Wonka movie.
Okay, it's another Sunday. Because, we do be recording on Sundays. It's a beautiful day outside,
It is gorgeous. Yesterday, gorgeous. The day before that, though,
terrible, scary. Everybody was completely dark.
Bitch, I was in my parking garage when all the wind was coming, and you could physically see the wind. And I was on FaceTime with our friend Ghosty, and she was like, I don't know, bitch, there might be a tornado outside. Maybe you should go inside. And I was like, I was trying to go get my hair cut downstairs.
You would be blown away, bitch. Just went flying right over the highway.
Right over the highway.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, especially like in your area. Honestly, here, me and Ariana, we were just watching The Perfect Match with our popcorn, just chilling.
Our lights were flickering.
Yeah. A lot of my friends lost power.
I had to bring my plants in because the wind was just like blowing them everywhere. And, I didn't tell you, I got a new Birds of Paradise, and it's taller than me.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful!
How beautiful!
Wow.
And so I had to bring her inside because I didn't want her to.
Where'd you get it?
Kroger.
Oh, nice. Okay. There's this new greenery place that opened up right next to my parents' house. Actually, we should go sometime.
Yeah.
They have like a lot of new pots and like stuff like that, like really pretty ceramic.
Whenever
pots.
I went to brunch yesterday, there's a place called the Plant Oasis.
Is it black owned? Sounds black owned.
It's not.
We can only hope.
Yeah, I know, but it's a house. Like, it's a neighborhood, and then it's just this white and green house. And it's gorgeous, and they have so many plants, like, just even outside.
Yeah.
And, like, the really tall cacti and stuff, and I wanted to go inside.
Wow.
But we just had so much to do yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Is this in Oak Cliff?
Yeah. Is that where the brunch place? Yeah, it's literally, like, I parked, like, right by it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we definitely have to do
And I thought
that.
I was going to get fucking kidnapped on my walk back to my car by myself the other day.
Really? In the afternoon?
Broad daylight.
What happened?
I was walking and I was like trying to find my car. And thankfully, when you park on like a GPS or something, it saves where you park your car. So I literally was just like walking, I'm like following my GPS. And then there's this lone white guy just standing. Like he's
not just standing. That's suspicious.
Yeah, and I didn't notice him because he stepped out. Like he was standing in between the trees, so I didn't see him. And so he took a step back, right? Uneasy feeling immediately. Yeah. And then when I'm walking past him, he's like, "Oh, hey, you from here?" Like,
what? Are you serious?
Like, I'm so serious. And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, so like, what kind of stuff do you do? Like, what's the nightlife around here? And I was like, you could probably Google that kind of stuff. And then
were you still walking while
I
you
was
were
still
talking?
walking.
Okay.
No, I just kept walking. But then he started walking behind me, like at a pace. And so then I got off the sidewalk and into the street and started walking in the street. And then he started walking ahead, and he was like, I was just trying to talk to you. I'm not from here. I'm just trying to see what's up. And I was like, I'm good.
Yeah, sounds like a
But I'm glad I didn't
play.
find my car until I realized I had passed it because I was anxious with him walking behind me. So I didn't even fucking see my car.
At least maybe that's good. That way they didn't see your license plate or anything.
Yeah. But yeah, it was creepy.
Well, I'm glad you're safe. Y'all be safe out here, because
I forgot that happened.
Dallas be tripping. I've had some experiences. Like a few people I know have had some experiences. So if you're feeling safe, get you some pepper spray gel. Get you a little, what do you call those? Like the little kitty knuckles. The ones that they're used to like
cats.
break a window, but they're really to break a nigga's trachea.
Yeah.
Yeah, get one of those.
I have a tiny knife on my keys.
Get a tiny knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a really nice knife that my ex gave me, and I will not give it back to him.
I was like, I would like to see it, and never mind. I would like to see it.
Wow. I feel like there's two very different directions that I feel like Lex could have taken that. So the first one is I would like to see it because this freak-a-leak is always interested in like the pain and the knife play and the cool, sexy, dangerous shit. But I also could see her saying that she would like to see it so that they could stab my ex with it.
Yeah. Whoa, can we do both?
At the
That's
same
good.
time?
Yeah.
That little knife play, little God.
Yeah.
God.
It's like wet from blood. I'm like, ooh, nice.
For legal purposes, this is just a joke.
It is just a joke.
Wow. Oh wow. Okay. We haven't even gotten into our week. How was your week?
My week was good. It was a little boring, I guess. I knew that I had a packed weekend of things, so I was like ready for the week. And I'm just like having that time at my job where like being there is such a nuisance to me. And like I know I go through these phases like every few months, and I'm like, damn, I'm about to fucking quit on the spot.
Yes.
I don't fucking want to do this shit. And then I snap out of it. But I'm like in that right now. But I just think that is cue that I need some time off. But it's okay because we have time off coming.
4 full days, 5 full days.
Yeah.
Damn. It's coming up very quick. 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something like that. Yeah. That's good that you had a boring week because it's been a very busy week. And I feel like we've just been moving. So I'm very excited for this evening to just fucking eat some wings and relax.
Literally. The second I opened my eyes, I turned to Court and I was like, oh my God, I want some fucking wings.
She's like, I want some wings real bad. I was like, okay.
She said, not real bad.
I'm sitting up doing the outline and she just rolls over like, I want some wings real bad. I was like, okay, bitch.
And well, mint it. And
we'll make sure you get you some wings then, okay? You didn't ask me about...
I was about to. See, look. You always be ready to fight me.
Well,
how was your week, Court? How have you been? What's been on your mind?
It was a good week. Nothing terrible happened to me this week, which is great because I feel like the last few weeks I've just been like money has been bleeding out of my hands. But this week it actually still bled out of my hands because I had to pay rent. So I don't know what to say.
It bled out of your hands for different reasons.
It's hot in here.
Take it off.
Yeah, you see it. But yeah, it was a good week, and I like kind of like you said, we have a jam-packed week. We had a jam-packed weekend planned, so I just tried to not do too much. I feel like I've just been moving a lot. I was telling my friend the other day, I haven't just taken a nap in forever, and I don't mean like a nap or like a pre-going out nap. Yeah, I mean like.
I'm sleepy. I'm gonna just fall asleep.
Yeah, and then just not have like a plan to wake up. You know, like you went to sleep when the sun is up, and then you woke up and the sun was down, kind of vibes. In like probably like a month or two. That's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta take a nap soon.
I gotta take a nap, bitch. Yeah. We went to a cool event on Friday.
Yeah, we went to Artgasmic on Friday. Yes. It was a Black business networking event. So fucking cool. We met so many like it's just you just don't realize like people are like in your city, like for real, like just these people doing shit that you're super interested in, and you're like, wow, I've been trying to get connected with these people for like ever, and they're at shit like that. So it was just really nice, and the view impeccable.
Yeah.
What floor were we on?
The penthouse, bitch, 29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met a cool tequila brand company and just a lot of other
really good.
Yeah, just a lot of great businesses. So hopefully we'll be able to share some of those businesses with you guys in the future. As you know, it's Women's History Month too. So cha-ching, cha-ching, bling, bling, bling. And of course, women does include all femmes. Yeah. We are not TERFs over here, bitch.
Nah, we don't even know them niggas.
Yeah. Who?
I can't even spell TERF. Okay.
Well, I do have a fun fact today, Lex. That's crazy.
Go Court.
Let me pull that bitch up real quick, you know? Oh, okay. There we go.
Wow, it's so crazy that Black women get like 2 months back to back.
And deserve it.
Yeah.
We really do deserve 60 days of uninterrupted praise. And also, I saw a TikTok that was like, Black History Month felt a little quiet this year.
Yeah.
And I really agree.
Yeah, it did.
Partially that's on me as well, because I feel like I didn't do anything to like.
Because usually we would go do at least
one thing
something during Black History Month, and we didn't do shit.
We didn't do anything. I didn't go to no museum. I didn't go see nothing.
Even you and our other friend, you guys would usually go and do something.
Mm-hmm. Or my mama would even like do something, or my aunt, but nobody. I don't know. It was quiet, but I feel like maybe everybody's just kind of busy. It's kind of stressful. I feel like it's just been a stressful year.
So far, yeah.
So far, it's been a fun year.
It has been very fun, but I'm focusing on the fun because if I focus on the stress, it's not going to be fun.
It's not going to be fun no more. Okay, so today, I guess for the pleasure principle, we're talking about like standards and values in relationships, which came from a conversation that me and you had earlier this week about kind of like where we are with our, I don't know what to call them, partner.
So I was told that it is a romantic friendship.
Okay.
Is what I was told.
Okay.
It's like we take each other on dates. We do all of those like cutesy things because I said, I don't know, maybe I would say that we're dating. And then she was like, I don't really think we're dating because like neither, like, I guess it's sort of like neither one of us have any like obligation to each other.
Right.
So I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I could say a romantic friendship. And she was like, and we're gay, so everybody knows what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
This
okay.
is a romantic friend.
It's like that, what we were telling, that person we were talking to at the mixer.
Yeah, that
was so confusing.
And then look on their face. They were like, "What?" And we're like, "Listen."
They were like, "Are you guys together?" And we're like, "No." And like, oh, "Okay, but are you in love?" And we're like, "I love her.
Yeah,
I love
like,
her. Yeah. Yeah. We're partners. We're life partners." It was very confusing to explain.
They were like, "Life partners," and we're like, "But not in the way you're thinking." Like,
yeah,
not
we don't
like
live
that.
together.
It's like. It's hard. It's like that TikTok sound where it's like, I would explain it to you, but explaining it would give us both an aneurysm.
Literally. And it was like, we were all like, all three of us were like,
because even when she was like, "Are you guys together?" And we were like,
No.
She was like, "So are you or aren't you?"
Because it's like we paused to think about it. Like, bitch, are we together?
No.
Anyway.
Like, I'm going to give myself an aneurysm.
Today, we're just all over the place today.
Moving on.
It's really giving chaotic over here on the pod today, guys.
Maybe it's because it's karma from that one episode we forgot to record.
Yeah. Oh, that was brutal. That was last week, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes. Oh my God.
Yikes. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I was playing with this thing.
Okay, let me get back. No, where were we? You're talking about romantic friendship. That's what the label is. Okay.
Yes.
So me and Lex had a conversation about our romantic friendships and like how they are both allowing us to like heal in certain ways and like grow without being in a committed relationship with people, but like growing as partners, you know?
And also not making you feel bad for fucking up too. Like, I really appreciate that. I really appreciate like transparent conversations about like, if I hurt your feelings, I appreciate you being like, "Oh, well, this made me feel some type of way." And just telling me that right then, rather than like it being days later or waiting until it bubbles over and we get into an argument about something else. And then you're like, "Oh, actually, I have problems with this, and this also."
Yeah. It's a really great space to just be open immediately. And that I've noticed the problems are solved immediately. It is just so refreshing and fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we can both have those partnerships right
It
now.
really like, I don't know. I'm just like, I like this. This is good.
This is really nice.
This is nice.
So, with that being said, after that conversation, I was like, okay, let's do an episode kind of like on standards and values that we want in our future relationships, what we have now in our current friendships, situationships, romantic relationships, all of the above. So, for the fun fact today, I wanted to talk about dating, as you know, we do sometimes. I saw this was from Pew Research Center, and this is the last 10 years. So it's kind of a really broad range of time, especially considering like COVID and everything. I feel like the last 5 years are very indicative of like
time.
Society. Yeah, of time. So like 10 years is kind of a lot. But anyway,
it
says that half of single adults and the majority of single women are not on the dating market at all. So like it says not looking for a committed relationship or casual dates. there's 10% looking for casual dates only and 14% looking for a committed relationship. But the majority of people are okay and comfortable being single because they feel like the partners, the dating pool is not meeting their expectations.
Yeah.
And I don't love it. Let me rephrase that. I don't love it. I want all of us to have meaningful relationships, but it says that 61% of women feel like the men in their dating pool do not meet their expectations and they have no desire to meet their expectations or their standards, as opposed to 38% of men saying that they don't date for the same reason. They don't date women for the same reason. I think that's really upsetting and really sad.
Yeah, that's like double the numbers for women when it comes to like if you're dating or not.
Yeah.
Or if there are people for you to date. And if 61% of women are all looking sort of for the same person and there's only 31% of them niggas out there that are looking for the same thing, then it would make sense why everyone's like, the dating pool has arsenic in it. Because, bitch, literally there are no there's no standards in the pool, and that's why it feels like that.
Oh my God. Oh wait, pew, pew, pew.
Perfect.
There it is.
Perfect.
Wow. Yeah, I thought that was really upsetting for the ladies. I'm really sorry. Also, this is normative heterosexual research.
You know, if you have a consistent plug for queer research information, please let us know.
Let us know, because Google ain't doing it, baby. And I don't have JSTOR anymore because I don't have my .edu account anymore. Yeah, that's where they have like research papers and things. Like usually college students have access to it.
Got it.
And that's where you can find some good shit, you know? But I don't got that. So anybody got a .edu I could borrow? Thanks. Put it in the comments.
Thanks.
Yeah, the fun fact is that the dating pool has fucking shit and arsenic, and it's actually an acid bath.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not even a pool. It's an acid bath.
Hey, just be choosy. Be extremely choosy. And if you feel like you're being too choosy, that's how you know you're at the right point. If you feel like you're being too choosy, you're choosing just enough.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It'd be lonely out here for choosy bitches.
It do.
But listen, when you want to get your coochie ate, when you need somebody to change your tire.
Oh, there's plenty of people for that.
It's going to be super easy for you to find someone and then just,
let it go.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to let go.
You're honestly, Cora, I think, I just really, and we were saying this, we're like, I love watching where we're at and like us going forward and like growing as people together. Because I just love seeing the person you turn into. It's so great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm really out here just trying to be better.
Courtney, you're doing so well. Because, sometimes I think about things that, like, you have told me when I first met you about things you like in life and where you see your life going. And then seeing you, like, literally go against the opposite because you're like, wow, yeah, wait, hold on. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And I love it.
I was really thinking about that, actually, the other day when I was driving home. I was, like, thinking about this situation kind of with, like, our current relationships and how, like, we're having to communicate our boundaries and, like, what their expectations are, even though we're not in a committed relationship. And, like, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, my God, this is really how it's going to be, like, for a long time, because I'm not going to, like, right now, I'm not going to change. I know what I want. I know I want to be with multiple people. And so that's going to require a lot of communication and a lot of no's from people that I probably don't want to hear no's from. And, like, I'll have to move on and let go.
Because that is also one thing that, because I realized, oh my God, I just had an epiphany just now.
Let's talk about it.
I just realized that something that happens with me, at least, is I start dating someone and, like, everything's going fine. And because I'm dating them, I start to change what my boundaries are because I'm dating them. Instead of being like, well, this is my boundary and this is what I want. And, like, even if I change it for a brief period of time to see if it's possible that I can change it, I'm still most likely not going to change it. Wow. Oh my God. I really do that a lot. I realize that a lot. Especially in my last relationship. I was like, I changed a lot of my boundaries to make sure that, like, my partner was comfortable, which I was happy to do. But I do realize now that we're not together, especially, is that we should have just, like, our boundaries are not aligning, and like maybe we should just not do this romantically.
And that brings us to our pleasure principle today, Lex.
Ooh, a segue.
Where we talk about our standards and values in relationships and how shared values is one of the most important parts of a relationship. That's the thing you should establish at the beginning, because ultimately, if you have different views of what your relationship should be in the future, then why even get started with a process? That's what I'm learning. Let's talk about this, okay?
Let's do it.
As we move through serious relationships, friendships, really any kind of committed situation, we naturally create a laundry list of must-haves and must-nots for all future partners and friends. Like, oh, my last relationship, I was like this, so I really need to make sure that my partner is somebody that's like this, because I already know that I'm like this, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I made a list of the 7 core values that, according to Masterclass, says that you need for a healthy relationship.
Okay.
So the core values are the important indicators of compatibility, you guys. So you can listen to these and maybe have a conversation with your own partner about some of these. Okay. So your core values are an important indicator of compatibility. It makes decision making and problem solving easier when you guys have similar goals, because you can approach it like, well, we know our end goal is we want to get married, period. So we gonna have to figure out this conversation about why the bed wasn't made up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we gonna get married. But if one of y'all wants to get married and the other one's not really that sure, then maybe the other one doesn't really give a fuck about fixing the issue with the bed. You know what I mean? And then when you and your partners share similar points of views, it creates a safe space where both people feel validated. So the first core value that I have is communication, obviously. Yes. Creating open lines of communication with your partner from the start can make it easier to express concerns and issues in the future. So you just establish a very healthy communication style, whether you're talking about buying chips or whether you're talking about buying a car or having a baby. I feel like it's really all the same. It's just how you communicate. What's your automatic tone when you talk to your partner? Do you know your partner's sensitivity?
Yeah.
You know?
Also, do you know your own limits when it comes to like conversations and arguments and things like that? Can you take yourself out of a situation because it's getting too heated? Are you able to tell your partner that you're not in the right frame of mind to talk about something that they're wanting to talk about? Something that I used to do is I literally used to be like when my partner wanted to have a serious conversation and I wasn't in the mental space for it, I would be like, I need you to give me a time and a day where you want to specifically talk about this thing so I can mentally prepare myself. And like, you know, I mean, that's something that both of us have to we have to sort of compromise on, because she wanted to talk immediately. And I was like, I need a minute. So
that's your communications, your argument style, your communication style is to like, you need a second to like comprehend the situation before you talk about it.
Yeah. And like once because if we start talking and I feel like we're arguing and we're not hearing each other and we're talking in circles, I'm literally going to say, okay, now we're talking in circles. Let's come back to this in 20 minutes.
But I like that you give a set amount of time, because for somebody like me, I like to talk about things immediately. Like especially when I feel like I'm being misunderstood, I'm like, no, let's get to the bottom. Like, how did we get to this point? I want to know right now.
Yeah.
But I imagine like in the past, my partners have been like you, where they need to take a step away, but they never gave me times. They would just take a step, or they would leave, or they would have this, or be quiet, or have this attitude for hours and hours and hours. And that gives me the anxious attached style, like very nervous.
Because you're withdrawing your love because like we're in conflict.
Yeah.
And that is giving me anxiety.
Yeah. Cause like I didn't even want to get to this point. Like, so you need to not be at this point. So like I have to figure that out. But that 20 minutes, if you told me, hey, Courtney, I will be back in 20 minutes, or I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to go smoke real quick, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Then that would be fine for me. I think that would be cool.
I definitely would be like, can we go for, like, I'm going to go for a walk real quick. We need to cool off. We need to cool off. Which, for some people, does not like come across positively. Like they're in the heat of that moment, they're not seeing it as like a positive thing. They're seeing it as like an avoidant thing. Like, you don't want to talk about it anymore. And it's like, I don't want to say hurtful things to anyone. And once you start saying hurtful things to me, whenever I look at you, whenever I talk to you, whenever I hear your voice, that's going to be one thing that's like playing in my head is like how you have talked to me before. So
Absolutely, bitch. I'll hold a grudge on that one for sure. I had a question for you in the midst of that. I don't remember. No, it's okay. I'll move on though. So the next one is equality. Fostering a mutual respect for one another creates a deeper emotional connection and greater intimacy between partners. You know, just being able to lean on each other without the fear of judgment or being misunderstood, you know, not like somebody's above somebody else or better than somebody else. I wouldn't say that like that's been a problem in my past relationships, but I always felt hesitant to lean on certain people because of the way I would be viewed by them. But maybe that's more so an issue with me now that I'm looking back than an issue with my partners. You know?
I think that like there have been times where I've been with
Hold on.
Oh.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think there have been times where I've like been with a partner and they've like been like they want me to do well, but they're also envious of like where I'm going or what I have going on or the drive I have to get there. And so the support sort of turns into shadiness without them even meaning to, because they're comparing like the path, like, well, she's here and I'm here. And it's also sometimes them putting pressure on themselves to get to where you're at quicker. But it's like, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm asking you to at least work on it. And you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself and a lot of pressure on the relationship in general. So,
Yeah. Wow. I have a lot of healing to do still. This is interesting.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. It also helps to have very communicative people in your life, like Lex. Okay. The next one is honesty. Obviously, that goes without saying. However, this is the part of honesty that I wanted to talk about. It's important to note that while being honest to your partner should come automatically, it is really important to work on how we react when our partners decide to be honest with us, because that sets the tone for like the future honest conversations that you can have. Because if I say to you, it's just exactly what happened in my past relationship, I like women and I want to be with women as well, but I don't want you to be involved. And if you react negatively and angrily and judgmentally, I close up. And I can't say, I feel like I never said anything else I wanted in that aspect ever again, because he reacted so badly the first time I tried to be honest about it. And I don't know. Once I shut down, it's really a done deal. You can't convince me that I can be honest, so I'm really not going to be honest. It takes me a long time to be open about how I feel or what I'm doing with people. I'm a Scorpio. I'm very secretive by nature. So honesty is also something I have to work on. It's not like I'm lying to people, but I just don't share things with my partners out of fear that they'll react negatively. And I know that's from my childhood, bitch. Because every time I went to my mama about some shit, it was just a big like outburst of emotions, and like I was never understood. And so I just don't do that shit. I lie by omission consistently. So yeah. But again, it's great to have people in your life like Lex, even like my current situation, boo honey thing, where I can be honest and I know that they're not going to react negatively. Yeah. Even if it's like, even if they think it's negative, even if you don't like what I have to say, you're never like, what the fuck? Bitch, are you serious? Like, it's never that. It's always like, okay, well, why do you feel this way? This is how I feel about it.
Coming
well,
from
honestly,
a place of understanding, rather than a place of like reactiveness and personal emotion. Yeah, exactly. So in your own way, again, you are healing me. Yes. But like vice versa though, Court, one thing that and you, like, literally you could ask one of our other friends this, whenever I say I'm going to do something, I'll literally be like, I should tell Courtney I'm working on this, because if I tell her I'm working on this, she'll hold me accountable. And I really appreciate that about you. You have. Okay. You're making this face like you haven't. I know. I feel like but you have. And like, even when I'm like, or even if I'm like in, you know, because sometimes Sometimes Lex is an ass without meaning to be. Like sometimes I'm an asshole without meaning to be because or some people are like, you're not an asshole, especially because you're not meaning to be.
Yeah, you're just very sure of yourself.
To me, it makes me feel like an asshole, and sometimes I just move through life like everyone can comprehend my train of thought. Not in like, I'm not meaning that in a condescending way. Just like I'm so free flowing and I'm so like
air.
Yeah, like I'm literally just like, oh yeah, whatever. Very like, just go with it, you know? And I forget that not everyone is that way. Or I forget that because if a partner came to me and they were like, hey, I've been seeing someone, like, you know, I've been seeing someone and we're going to go on this thing. I don't know. I would have feelings about it, obviously, because it's like, oh, I didn't know that you had other stuff going on. But I would process my feeling on my own and then talk to my partner about it and then go about it from there. But I think like, I don't know. I just think that everyone's just gonna come and tell me when something's wrong because that's what I'm
you
gonna do. Yeah.
But that's how people should operate.
Yeah.
It's just not how most people operate.
Yeah, and it's like I've been so tunnel vision and having my blinders off to those emotional cues and like things like that it's really hard for me to pick up on it now. And I just realized I'm so deep in the rabbit hole that like sometimes it isn't always a positive thing. Because I'm just like moving through life with no regard sometimes.
But the fact that you can acknowledge that, and I see you making those changes as well, especially with your boo.
Yes.
And like just the way that you're trying to communicate, but also still respect your own boundaries.
Yes.
You've said that so many times. You're like, I want to make sure that she feels like I'm being honest with her and that I will share the things that are necessary to share. And I want to respect how she feels. But you're also like, I still have my own boundaries that I will keep.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Wow, I did say that.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said. Like,
oh my God.
Well, before the podcast, so like 40 minutes ago.
When I tell y'all, I just be talking sometimes. I just be talking. And I'm like, it's just good that it's a subconscious thought at least because, yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I meant that. I want to respect you and give you the best time. And make you feel so adored that you want to throw up, and that like when you go date other people, you're like, step your pussy game up. That's the whole point of why I like to be the way I am, because I also want all the people around me to have the best of the best of the best. But it's like if what you need impedes on what I also need, and it's not a compromise that I feel, not like a necessary compromise in like a bad way, but if I don't feel like that is something I should change about myself or about my process to make someone else happy, then I'm not going to do that.
And maybe that's just not the one for you.
But if it's something that's making me look like a shit, that's affecting my character, oh, bitch, I'm going to fix it immediately. And I mean immediately.
The next one is intimacy. That one's pretty obvious. It's not just sex, but, you know, frequent displays of affection, other forms of intimate touch, just ways to, like, you know, let that person know that you're present with them. You guys have to be compatible. Oh, Charlie horse. You guys have to be compatible in that way. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Shared beliefs. So, like, religion, politics, social issues. You don't want a nigga in your house. Like, okay, I've told this story on the pod and I'll say it the fuck again. This dude I was seeing for a few months, he was visiting from Austin, and we went out like to get some drinks at like a brewery or something. It was very chill. Like, I half liked him, you know, like kind of just like somebody that would come up whenever he's up and he would just like take me out and we'd have a good time, whatever. But anyway, he was sleeping on the couch with me and we were watching TV, and I got a notification on my phone that said that Kobe Bryant died. And I woke him up and I told him, and he was like, man, you woke me up for that? This was a Mexican dude. He's like, oh man, you woke me up for that? And I was like, nigga,
what the fuck?
That was the last day that I ever spoke to him. Ever. When he left that house, he never came back. I never called him, never texted him after that. He texted, nope. Are you kidding? You need to find somebody with the same cultural, whatever the word is, okay? It matters. The small things matter. What if you were in a house with somebody like a white person during, and I am pointing at you, I'm looking at you. What if you,
I saw you pointing at me with your fucking thumb, bitch.
well, this is for the people that are not on YouTube. I'm pointing at Lex. What if you were in your own apartment that you pay for with a white woman and all the shit was and all this shit was going down that was going down in 2020 and 2021. Like,
yeah.
can you imagine what that would be
Yeah.
like? Just like having to stare at the person. Like, I don't know how you interracials do it. Your interracial relationships.
Do you know how taken aback I was when I was cooking us dinner one night in our apartment? And usually she wouldn't be in the kitchen with me while I was cooking, but she came in the kitchen and I was rinsing this meat in the sink and seasoning it there as Black people do. And she walked in and was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm making dinner." And she was like, "Why is the meat in the sink?" And I was like, "I cleaned it. I'm seasoning
Obviously.
it." And she's like, "Why don't you just use a bowl?" And I was like, "Because the sink's right here." "Did you disinfect that?" "Yes, I wiped it out before I put any food in it." "Well, why are you doing it in the sink? The drain is right there." She just couldn't comprehend it. And I was like, "Could you please get out of the fucking kitchen?" Like, bro,
It could be small shit.
Yeah.
And it could be huge shit.
this bitch didn't know about Top Ramen. I was like, "What the fuck? You've never eaten ramen before in your life? What?"
Okay. See, I'm not a
You can't be racist. You're white.
yeah,
You're
right.
Black.
I'm not even prejudiced. I'm not. I'm just so pro Black love just because it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
But if you are in an interracial relationship and you're listening to this podcast, I support you and I love you. Send me pictures with your white partners. Moving on.
I was trying not to laugh.
The next core value is trust, which goes hand in hand with honesty. If you don't have honesty, you don't have trust. If you don't have trust, you probably don't have honesty. I don't really have a lot to say on that one.
If you can't even listen, and I feel like I told you about this, but listen, if you can't like exist in the same place with your partner without like having to be all up in their phone, if they can't have social media, if you can't trust them to go to the store and be gone a little longer than a normal time, like the trust is not there. If you're literally like every 2 seconds, "Wow, what are you doing? Who are you with? When is going to be there? What time are you going to leave? What time are you going to get back?" If that's all the shit that you're doing, if your person can't just exist as a person, as an individual without you losing your fucking left
Nut.
fucking, yeah. Bitch, then you guys should sit and have like an actual true and honest conversation, because obviously you're lacking honesty and trust, and you're lacking the trust because of the
Communication.
honesty and the communication. Yeah,
Wow,
like
3 of the core values
like
you
come
failed.
on, please. Like I could leave my phone open around anyone in my life and would not even worry about it. My phone rings and it has a name that says who it's called. Are you sure you want me to pick this up? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Hey, is it cool if I use your camera? Yeah, that's fine. Hey, can I use your Instagram? Yeah, sure. Like, it's just nice to have people that respect your boundaries too.
Yeah. I'm not a snooper because I don't want to find something that upsets me.
Because then I'm going to kill you.
Because then what do I look like? I did this to my fucking self. Let me tell you a fucking story
Looking
real quick.
stupid.
I'm so sorry.
Do
Let
it
me,
to yourself.
it's coming, so I have to tell you the story real quick.
It's coming.
Okay. Let me tell you how ridiculous niggas are. Okay. One night,
shit.
after a very sweaty, hot, perfect sex session, like, bitch, I was passed out, ass up, face down into a pillow with just my wet spot just underneath me. When I woke up to my phone being thrown at my back, and it was this nigga, my ex, and he was like, "What is this?" And I pick up my phone, it's my Instagram, and it's this guy. You know how there's always that one cheerleader that you have never met before in your life, but that nigga be swiping on every single story. He replies to every single story. He supports all of the things that you do. He will remind you every fucking day that you are a beautiful woman. But he knows he ain't getting this pussy. He's never, everybody has that one person.
Yeah.
This one person had sent me a message that day saying like, heart eyes, like something about mi reina or something, because, you know, he's Latino. So I don't know, something like that. And he was like, what the fuck is this? You know, going off on me. Like, clear, it's very clear I didn't even respond to it. It's like very, very clear that this is nothing of importance.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? What are you doing? Why are you going through my phone? Didn't we just have great sex? Why aren't you asleep? What's the point? Whole time, y'all, 2 weeks later, I found out that morning, that nigga had gone to QT for some donuts at 5 a.m. and decided to get some pussy from some random woman in a gas station. That same night that he decided to pick up my phone and get mad at me for a nigga I don't know DMing me and hurt himself, that nigga was cheating on me that day. I had to get that off my chest because I'm like, what? I'm good now, bitch. That was a long time ago.
I would just like to say the anger and rage from the pit of my stomach.
Oh man, it's craziness. It's really insanity. These niggas are crazy.
And all like just so many things. So many arguments had about so many things.
Crazy, huh?
That were apparently happening.
It's like so crazy.
That were not happening. And here goes niggas.
Delusions. Anyway. Now you know a little bit more about my life.
But look where that nigga at now.
Nowhere to be found.
Courtney List. And that is just a train I cannot get on.
And let me tell you, when I say I've been feeling so much better.
I do love that for you.
Okay.
Just really blossoming into your queer self.
Yeah.
Because when you were wearing that cute Query F shirt, I was like,
yeah.
She's
I really
evolving.
felt like, yeah.
I was like, she's evolving. Sometimes, Corey, when
Just
you're telling me a thought you had, or even just when you're like talking about people just in general, I'm like, growth.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, another side note, I felt really good that day. First of all, I was walking around with this queer fine ass bitch with my little shirt on. I was walking around with my fine ass nigga with my shirt on. I was just like, yes, this is me. I got these baddies.
Oh yeah, and that was the day we were shopping in the mall, and I was like, we could hold hands while we walk through the mall. Let's do it.
Lex took me on a date on Tuesday. It was very nice. We got cheesecake and espresso martinis and birria tacos. It was very
those
good.
tacos were very good.
Anyway.
Ooh, I'm thinking about wings again.
And with that being said, we've come to our last core value. Validation. Acknowledgement of your partner's point of view and emotions is crucial in caring for their well-being. Lex is very good at validating your feelings. My little boo thing is great at validating my feelings. I am such a crazy person, honestly.
No.
And in the best of ways, though. I just am kind of like all over the place sometimes with my emotions.
I don't feel like you're crazy, Courtney. I feel like you're figuring it out.
Yeah, but how long can I be figuring it out? For 27 years?
If you think about it, when you got out of college is probably like, when do you feel like you started like when did you start paying like your own stuff?
Yeah, like out of college.
Okay, so that is technically when your adult life began. How many years from then until now?
6.
You're only 6 years old. Please.
I'm a baby.
See? Please.
Just a baby.
Be nicer to yourself. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, Lex just validated my feelings. Pew, pew, pew. That was crazy. There's no examples needed because you just did it. Thank you.
Yes, of course. It's really second nature at this point.
Before we get out, I have some questions for the gals.
Yes.
Okay. After hearing this list, which I'll run through again if you want me to, would you say your past relationships have shared some or most of these values?
Some of them, yeah.
Not ones do you think you've been missing out on in the last relationship?
I think in my last relationship we were missing out on,
or just not performing well in.
Not performing well in probably honesty, shared beliefs, and trust.
Damn.
Those are probably the ones that we.
Yeah, I think I would say communication, honesty, trust. Validation.
I'm gonna say communication also, though.
Yeah. Oof. Those are the things we didn't have.
We needed to work on.
Yeah, we needed to work on. Yikes. We were not supposed to be in those relationships.
That's really bad.
That's awkward.
But like, also just to make a point, like, but here we are with all those things after all these times.
And that's how you know it's really meant to be. Mm-hmm. Because we share communication, equality, honesty, intimacy, shared beliefs, trust, and validation.
Mm-hmm. Court, you're my favorite.
Oh
I
my
say it all the
gosh.
time. It's lately I've just been really like realizing how much I love the people in my life, and like I just feel the very deep need to make sure they know, you know? And if they don't know, it just feels like a sack of love building up, and it's like, what if I explode?
Oh my God, not your appendix. Oh my gosh. 1 second. Mom, I'm podcasting. I was just about to text you, but you FaceTime me, and I'm using the phone as my outline. So now this is going. I'm gonna leave this. I'm just letting you know I'm leaving this in the episode.
Yeah,
it's just the audio.
I think it's really funny that you call almost
Mom. You call
almost every time we podcast.
Episode.
At least once.
You really do.
We're like, it's not an episode if Mom doesn't call.
Yeah.
Love you, Mom.
Yes. She's so funny. She's so interesting. Yeah, something about how we weren't supposed to be in the
yeah,
and about how this is
we
the
share
best.
these things. Yes.
Okay. The next one is, are these important topics to consider when beginning a casual relationship? Would you say that your current partner shares more of these values? It's hard to say because it also hasn't been very long. You know, it's like you're comparing a 2-year relationship to a 2-month relationship. You can't.
I think, like, casually speaking, I feel like it's not something that like needs to be talked about right up front, because it's like while it is not impossible, it is not in my plan to have a serious relationship anytime soon. And so our partnership can really go one of two ways. And that's really just us continuing on as we are and maybe getting into a relationship at some point, or us continuing on and one of us meeting someone and like sort of like prioritizing someone, like a connection with someone else over the other,
right.
Or even just getting into a committed something with a different connection. Like there's so many ways it could go, but those are usually the 2 ways it goes. But I think like unless you both share the like, I want it to go this way, then there's really no point in having these conversations because you're already missing one of them.
Which is?
Which would be the shared beliefs. So you're already missing one.
Yeah, that's so true.
And that's a really important one, is shared beliefs. To me, at least.
Do you, like, if I am in a casual relationship, should I avoid these conversations?
No, don't avoid them. Like, if they come up, have them. If you feel the need to have that validation for how you feel about all these other things, then yeah, definitely communicate. Boom. See? Look at that. It all ties in together.
They really do. Yeah.
But it of course, it's case by case, but you go by what you feel. And that is definitely going to come from being honest with yourself more than being honest with anyone else. Like, you should be being honest with yourself more than you're being honest with anyone else. And if you aren't being honest, then you're not going to be able to even have a positive connection with someone. If I come to you in like when we first start dating and I tell you I'm a non-monogamous person, and you know, I also tell you who people in my life are and like what my relationship is to them, and that's something that you say like, oh, that's cool, like let me work through some stuff and I'm sure I'll be cool with that. And then like being like, okay, let's try it out, and then being like, okay, actually I don't like this, and then being upset with me for one, not wanting it to be that way, and two, for me not willing to like change it,
go back.
Yeah, for me to backtrack after being like forward, you know, it just is like that to me is, especially after like a while, it's like that's something I communicated, but you weren't honest with how you actually felt about it, or I don't know, honest with yourself. I don't know what it was, but like, you know. And
people definitely have the space to say, they
tried it
and it doesn't work for me. But you also can't expect for your partner, if you're not willing to change, if you're not willing to go back and they're not willing to go forward, then you just got to be honest.
Yeah.
And communicate.
Yeah.
And let go.
Yeah.
What are some standards that are not on the list that you need to have a healthy relationship? Like a must-have for you in your future relationships?
I actually started making a bullet point list of things.
I really need to start utilizing my notes app more. It's just grocery lists and
Okay,
passwords.
so it was mostly like, so this one is, wait, what was the question one more time?
What are some of the things like your must-haves and
Okay,
must-nots in the future?
So one of my next ones is like I like that with Red, because we're just gonna keep her that name. Ooh, sorry.
Not your heart skipping a beat. Wow.
I started thinking about something and I was like, wow, that's actually the perfect name for her. Oh, distraction. Oh my
Disgrace.
God. What was I saying, Courtney?
You were saying red,
Red.
something that they have, or maybe.
Oh yeah, so they do this thing where like I get duality, like it's like I don't know, I feel like I have a lot of masculine energy, but I am a soft kitten. Like I'm still like, I like to be pet on, I like to be kissed on, I like it when you call me cute and pretty. I'd be like, oh my God, stop, but like don't stop doing it, you know. I like that.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, I'm still very like, let me get the door for you.
Let me hold this.
Let me hold this. Why are you carrying so many things? Shut up, sit down, let me take care of it. Like I am still very, very much that way. So it's just nice to be in a space where I don't feel like I always have to be the let me get this, don't worry about it, where I do still have the space to like be a soft kitten. And it like, I don't know, it's not like I didn't really have the space in the past to be soft, because I did. I just don't know why it didn't feel like I could really do that. And I don't know why. It just didn't feel that I could actually be as soft as I wanted to be. But I think it was just because I was taking so much on to like help my partner take care of. I think that I was pushing myself out of my own boundary. And that definitely affected like my relationship with that person, because I was like, I want to help you and I want to make sure you're okay. But then at the same time, I'm still a person with my own shit going on. And like, I can't always take on the caretaker role, because once I start feeling like your caretaker and not your partner, then it's a total disconnect for me.
It just is really nice to just feel like you just have somebody that you can be yourself around and just have fun. There's not as much heaviness.
Yeah, and I think that's probably it too, like the seriousness of a relationship, like the pressure of it, even just the title.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my girlfriend. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
like, damn.
it really is.
That's why I'm like, bitch, 6-8 months, that's not enough time.
Sounding better and better every time you guys say it.
6 to 8 months, that's not enough time. I'm sorry. Because think about where your relationships are usually at 6 to 8 months in.
That's what I'm so scared of. Like, I'm trying not to live out of fear of it getting worse.
Don't
like,
live
every
out of-
time this person does anything for me, I'm just like, ugh. But when it's like, when is it going to stop? And I'm going to feel it when it stops, because like, but then like people around me will be like, why do you think like that? Or maybe it just will never stop. Maybe they are just this way. And I'm like, okay, well, in the past, that hasn't been my experience.
Yeah.
So
I think it's good to think of your past not living in fear, but living in consideration to where you're at, like in regards to your past. Like consider what happened in the past, sort of like, you know, keep it in the back of your mind, but don't let it be a fear, because then you can't really enjoy what you have going on. Yes. Which sometimes can lead to the whole like, I need to like be with you and see you and like let's do everything. That it can lead to that because you want to get it all in while you have it. But yeah.
okay.
Everything has a reason, and doesn't that fucking suck?
Yeah, truly.
It's really hard for me to process my emotions because I know those things.
Wow, very air sign of you.
It's so
very
hard.
Libra.
I'm like, can I feel anything? Yes, I can, but maybe for like 2 seconds.
You're just so logical about it. I think you talk yourself through your feelings.
I do a lot, and sometimes it takes me a few days. Sometimes I'll have a thought and I'll talk myself through the emotion, but my emotional side is just freaking the fuck out. But
Let's
that's
cater
when
more to this side
Yeah, I
in
know.
2023.
I'm doing my best.
You are.
I'm trying to embrace it, you know?
Absolutely. Lex, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you today.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share about some of your core values or any of our topics for today?
No, but one thing always for our listeners, always just words of wisdom before we part. Do what feels good for you and whatever that means. And sometimes things feel good to you for a while and like it sucks having to hurt people's feelings, but if there's anything me and Court know, if what you have isn't what you need to be happy, you have to be willing to go through the chaos to let it go. Which is scary, but yo.
Very fruitful at the end.
Yes, very fruitful because you just be so like, wow, this is that part of me I was missing. Like this is the feeling I've been missing to be like less blah.
Yeah.
It's like I feel blah, but like this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
Well-
it's the antidepressants though.
Bitch, talk about it. I am so glad that they are working for you like that,
Yeah.
bitch. Yeah.
But I also just think life is really good.
yeah.
Apparently.
Amazing what happens when you let go. The art of letting go.
It's really good.
That was another fucking episode, you guys.
Yeah.
Whenever you're listening to the pod, Wednesday, whatever, have a great fucking week. Follow us on Instagram at allyourpleasures_. Follow us on the same for TikTok. If you're watching on the YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hush, 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 baby.